Yeah, g'day. This is how to play You Won't Relent on bass. This is my interpretation of it, and it's not strictly the rules, but if we could all just try and follow roughly in the same kind of direction, I think all of the bands between all the different bass players, they should all be right. So here we go. Now, the basic parts, there's only really a few notes in this song, so it's pretty easy to play on bass, but it's really, I'm going to give you 3 different ways to approach the different parts of the song, and you can give your own interpretation based off of it, and I'll show you some little flash bits I do as well. Right, so basically we start in C sharp. Here we go. And we keep this kind of a rhythm. And I'm just going to keep that rolling, then move into the A, then the E, and then the F sharp. Right, here we go. So, C sharp, A, E, F sharp. Now, I've done this with a pick because I know like a lot of you people play with picks and stuff. Now I'm going to show you finger style, okay? Now, at the start of the song, we start with just a very sparse one note kind of sequence. Okay? It's very much that part where the male vocalist goes, "You won't relent until you have it all." That's that part that I'm playing there. And if you want to get flash about it, because I like to give people options, you can do this. But still, that sequence is basically still the C sharp, A, E, F sharp. Okay, now the variation where the woman starts, that's kind of the, it's just a little bit bigger. And what we want to do is we want to just give like a bit of a sense that things are lifting a little bit in tempo. So what I'm going to do, right, is I'm actually just going to change the sequence a little bit, okay? And the E, instead of using a low E, an open E like I was before, we're instead going to move up to the E on the 7th fret here, on the A string, okay? So that means the sequence will now go like this. This note up here is optional, okay? It's still basically the F that I was using up there. Obviously this is the E and the F sharp that we're hitting on through here. Same as when I'm doing the open E and the F sharp here at the 2nd fret. Okay, so that option will sound a bit like this, and I'm just going to add a little bit more rhythm. So this is when the woman starts, okay, in the track. Now this part is an owlism, so I'm not recommending it. And what it is, it's just a bend, like this. Okay, you don't have to do this. It's optional. I think it sounds kind of cool. So we end up with a sequence like this. Okay, it's purely optional, that part though. So basically you'll be sticking in, as you can see, the first part starting off is just single notes, open, F sharp. Second part, okay, now the third part I'm going to show you is where the song gets like a lot louder, and the reason I'm showing it to you in this modular way is so that you can kind of understand. Sometimes the song goes off and the worship leader takes it somewhere else, you can kind of keep up. So that's the basics of the song right there. That's most of the song. But we know where that part gets louder. Okay, well there's a few options to go with that. You can get yourself a pick, okay, which I know a lot of the bass players at our little church use picks, so and just start rocking into it, okay? And the low E and the F sharp. Okay, excellent. Now, I do something different when I'm playing it, and this is an optional part. I'll always tell you when something's optional, so you know, it's just something you can do if you feel the urge to play it. You can play with just like, basically power chords, okay? Which is just like, if I'm at the C sharp here, I go to the G sharp up here, okay? And I'll take that same pattern onto the A, and then up to the open E, F sharp. Okay, and if you want to take it a little bit further than that, well, that sounds like this. Okay, the other option is you take it to like basically a full guitar, kind of like power chord. Now, the other option you've got is sometimes I vary between these parts. I kind of go from using the C, A, low E, F sharp sequence, and I'll vary it to the through the C sharp to the A to the E2, and then to the F sharp. Now it's all on the A string, so it'll sound a little bit like this. That's I think I've given you the basics of the song. So just remember, like at the start, keep it reasonably sparse, just with like nice simple long notes, okay? Okay, when it comes into where the woman starts singing, I go into a slightly more rhythmical stance. And then the higher E. Okay, and then when it starts to rock out, get a pick and start rocking it. And the low E. Now I think it's good to vary between those things and just see how you're feeling about it. But that's a very, very simple way of going about it. If you really, really want to, if you ever get the opportunity to do the intro, you can do something like this. Okay. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but I'll play it all together in a minute. I'm not going to give you the specific note because I reckon you can probably work it out. Something like that. Okay, thank you very much for watching. This was, yeah, a real pleasure to show you. There'll be other videos coming soon, specifically that song Go that we're going to be doing as well. You Won't Relent's a really, really beautiful song, and it really requires, I think as a bass player, just to be really mindful of what the other musicians are doing. But also just be aware that you've got to try and pedal that rhythm along. The acoustic guitar and the vocals should be able to vary, knowing that the bass player and the drummer are keeping the rhythm. Be careful about speeding up in the song. I find like when I'm playing it, I've got a tendency to speed it up a little bit too much. Even when I was just playing in, I was speeding it up a little bit too much. The real rhythm should be around about here. And various versions I've seen on YouTube and stuff, it does lift in tempo a fair bit, but still keeping a nice kind of pedal along. And if you get the chance to learn the little bend that I do at the top here, it's you know, as I said, fully optional. Okay, it's just an F sharp bend up here on the G. It's not really necessary to do that all the time, it's just an idea, and I'll leave it at that, and thank you very much!